All right, guys, I have a fun one here today. This is the Seiko 5KX, but probably one of the best looking ones. Now, this has been out a little while. It's not like crazy new or anything like that. So pretty much everybody has already noticed this in pictures and maybe even in stores and stuff. But this is the srpe83. This is the Brian May Red Special automatic edition. So I know it's a lot to try to remember, I guess, but it's the Brian May, basically the 5KX Brian May. It comes in this case, which is basically like a miniature guitar case. Very cool. And you can see it's actually got his signature in there, limited edition. Yeah, it's limited. They actually made 9,000 of these things. That's a pretty high limited edition number, but when you're talking about an iconic guitarist from an iconic band, Queen, there is going to be a ton of people beyond us watch enthusiasts that are going to gravitate towards having this in their collectible items. And additionally, you know, if you're a Queen fan, or, you know, even if you're just a Brian May fan, you know, he's got books. He's been around. He's been around a while, so he's got a lot of things out there that people would want to collect, including this watch. And then I think recently there was a reproduction of the guitar that this is actually representing here. The quote Red Special is a guitar that him and his father had hand built. I'm not talking like they didn't have like a machine shop or a wood shop or anything like that. They actually hand built the guitar. There's a book on it. There's videos on it, of course. That's where I educated myself on it. But there's actual a recently released reproduction of that guitar. I think it's kind of like a 1-to-1. So like it has the thick neck. It has all of the switches so you can get crazy sounds out of it. Actually has like a, you know, a whammy bar on it, on the guitar and everything, which is like kind of, you know, that wasn't super common when they built that guitar. So very, very cool stuff. And this watch is actually really cool too, guys. Even though that there's 9,000 of them, you might not think 9,000 on special limited edition is very limited. But big picture, it kind of is, you know, in the watch enthusiast world for this model, like I said, because there's going to be a lot of other people trying to get this watch as well. So in case you don't know the 5KX, let's run through the sizes real quick. It's 42.5 millimeter wide. Lug to lug is 46 millimeter. You have drilled lugs here. 13.5 millimeter thick. It's going to have a hard Lex crystal. 22 millimeter lug width here comes on this nylon strap. 7 millimeter crown. It is a push-pull crown. You're going to have 100 meter water resist. So you're going to be able to pop that out like that, double position. It's going to stop the movement. Hacking, we call it. It's going to stop the seconds hand, so you can adjust time accurately, which is, I know everybody says they want that, but these watches are not that crazy accurate. This is a 4R36 automatic movement. So, you know, by wearing it, it'll wind the movement, or you have the crown all the way in and you can actually wind the movement to build up the power reserve in it. And then expect accuracy somewhere between plus 25 and minus 15 seconds per day, somewhere in there. So it'll be fine. You just adjust it occasionally. You're going to have to adjust it on the, you know, every other month anyway, you know, because it's not a perpetual calendar. So you do have the date, but you're going to have to adjust that occasionally. Not a big deal. But like if we take a closer look, oh, retail price on this is $550. Also, I pulled it out of the case. I wanted to show you this coin too. I'm going to try to zoom in on this. It comes with this special edition coin too. So kind of like a Brian May on the coin there. I don't think that's, I mean, the hair kind of is, but that's definitely not how he looks. Brian May official Seiko Red Special 2020. And then on the other side, you can see it is timepiece. It has a royal crown there. It has a picture of the Red Special and then his initials, Brian May. Well, you know what? Since we're zoomed in, let's take a look at closer look at the watch too. So, of course, you can see, I'm going to try to zoom in more because I want to show you guys something. So, if you ever go look, and I'll put a link in the description too of a couple things I found, you can actually see like the graining of the guitar. This is like the silhouette of the Red Special guitar. So if you're a guitarist or if you're a music enthusiast, you'll kind of pick up on that. I think you'll notice that. But I also noticed they actually went through the trouble on this dial. This is one of the best looking dials I've handled from Seiko. It is absolutely beautiful. It is stunning, and they nailed it. 100% nailed it. It actually looks like there's wood graining on there, and then it has that beautiful rich red tone, and then it darkens towards the bottom, and then of course you have that white line breaking it up to the black relief. Nice polished surrounded indices, and then a full polished handset, very similar to what would be on an SKX and a lot of turtles and everything, and of course on the 5KX. Just a beautiful watch overall. And let's see, of course, date, and if we look at the case back, bear with me, you'll also see a special coated, it's not overly done, so you can still see the movement. There's a little bit of protective coating on here, but that Brian May signature and then the limited edition is actually printed on the underside, I believe, of the glass there, so it's not going to get worn off or anything while you're wearing it. So also really cool. So if we zoom back out, I will show this. Like I said, the retail price was $550, so I think they're pretty much sold out everywhere. Shockingly, the good fellows over at Lucido in Rochester, Anthony, I was talking to him while I was visiting the store and picking up these watches to video to share with you guys. And we were talking about his personal collection. And he's like, well, I have a couple Seikos. Of course, he's, you know, he's been in the watch industry and stuff like that. He's still a young man, but he's been in the business for a long time. It's a family business. So he's got some, like, pretty stunning pieces. And then he's like, well, I have some Seiko. And I'm like, oh, yeah, like what? Because I'm a Seiko guy, right? He's like, well, I got that Brian May, that diver-looking watch for the Brian May. I'm like, that's sick. And he goes, would you like to video it? And I'm like, yeah. So he goes in the back of the shop, and he pulls this out. And I'm like, is this yours? He's like, no, we have one. It wasn't out in the case. Like, they have one. And I don't know what they're, like, somebody was holding it or what. I don't know. But they're, you know, retail $550. They're already trending way over that on the secondary market. So even though there's 9,000 of them, guys, they're like super collectible. Same thing happened with the reproduction guitar that came out. I think those were like sold in the UK or something, and I want to say they were around like $750. Maybe they're around $1,000 or something like that. I think they're trending higher than that in the secondary market. They're well over 1,000. So I don't know, cool stuff when it comes to collectible. We all go kind of crazy and we just buy a lot of stuff. Oh, I was wearing the SKX, by the way. So here's the SKX next to the Brian May 5KX. They look like the same watch because they kind of are, other than the water resistance rating, essentially. And the Brian May one's going to have a better movement. So let me pop this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. I am not a huge fan of nylon straps, so bear with me. But it is appropriate, I think, for a musician or a guitarist or something like that to wear something like this. I think it's the best looking 5KX out there. I don't know. Can you guys think of another one that looks as good and rich as this? This looks stunning. That is a great looking watch. I'm kind of surprised they did it on this platform, but I mean, it works because it's very sporty and rugged looking too. So anyway, let's kill the lights, check the Loom on this bad boy. And I'll put a link. I'll put a couple links down below. Of course, I'll put, if I can get this NATO strap off. Of course, I'll put Lucido because that's who I want you guys to get a hold of. Probably not going to get this one, though. This one's probably going to be gone. Just saying. But they have a ton of other Seiko there. A huge selection. And I've done video on these 4 that they loaned in. But also, I'll put a link to a good interview I found of I forget what the place was I did it. It was just a YouTube video interview with Brian May about the guitar, about the Red Special. So I thought it was pretty cool. Let's kill the lights and check the Loom. Beautiful, bright green Loom on this thing. Seiko never disappoints with the Loom, guys. So if you're here looking just for the Brian May collectability, stuff like that, in case you don't know, Seiko is like the king when it comes to like the night or, you know, dark illumination when you're wearing these dive watches. They're just the king. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next vid.